What's up guys, it's Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video today. A much requested synergy guide. There's a lot of these to do. I've got like a massive list of them and it really requires the right gameplay to show you guys. So today we're going to go through the Reinhardt McCree Synergy. One that should have been here since the beginning of time, or at least Overwatch's time. And one that doesn't really get implemented that often. And it's so strong. So I want to go through it, show you how to implement it and why the synergies complement each other. And I'll get into that first, actually. I mean, Ryan has a great big blue rectangle. Now, there's a meme of this in our stream where Eddie got mad at someone that wasn't using his Ryan shield. It's got a great big shield with 2,000 health that you can shoot through and enemies can't, so why not utilize that as McCree? That is just synergy there built in the game. Just stand behind it and shoot through. That's without any tips needed. But how often do you still see a McCree go off on a mad flank doing some damage? Yes, even a great McCree can go off on his own and kill things. But the thing is, meanwhile, your team are dying because their main DPS isn't there. There's also some great Rhine players that end up pinning too often, and they might do a lot of damage and earth shatter everyone down, but if they're not shielding their team, they're still not doing their job properly. You're much more likely to succeed with an average Rhine player and an average McCree playing together than someone that's great at either of those heroes playing on their own. After all, Overwatch is a team game, but the natural synergies should go even better than that. For example, your Reinhardt's going to pin someone or be pinned. If he does pin an enemy, you can follow up on that pin by confirming the kill by just putting out damage on the enemy that's currently being pinned into the side of a wall by Reinhardt. On the opposite side of that, if your Reinhardt then gets pinned, you can just flash him out of it and save him, which is also easy to do. It's another synergy that just happens by being together. Also, if a Genji's trying to dive your backline and your McCree flanking off to the side, how do you stop the Genji or the Tracer or the Winston jumping in? But if they jump in and you flash them and your Rein's there to also follow up on some damage again, they don't stand a chance with that hero. So playing together is always the best thing to do with Reinhardt McCree for all of these different reasons. They can't dive your backline because you're in the death ball with your Ryan and you've only got to back up a few feet rather than having to trek back the mile where you've tried to flank around the enemy team to pop your high noon at the last minute to try and clutch the game, where realistically even a high noon should be with someone on your team. So if you want to go on a bit of a flank or take the high ground to do it, you should still take a teammate or even your Ryan with you, or the whole team. Why not the whole team? It's always better than being on your own. So I want to show firsthand how this synergy works. So I'm going to show you some Ilios now, just going over the top of the stairs. And straight away you'll see my Ryan just puts up his shield and I start putting out some damage. I then do the typical flanking McCree thing, and for some reason I just walk off and start doing damage. Now this isn't a problem, we can confirm the kill on the Genji over there, but instantly the Ryan realizes I'm injured, knows his job actually is to stay with me, and you'll see we're pushing up and up and up, and the Ryan's with me the whole time. Again, I walk out in front of him, but we just change our focus over here towards the Ana, and I follow up the Ryan again. Now, what happens straight away, rather than me then carrying on a mad flank, which you would see so many McCrees do, we back up behind the shield again and start doing some damage. Now, there's an important thing to mention here, and that is that a lot of people that are playing against a Reinhardt without having one themselves would always struggle, because it's difficult to actually dismantle a death ball if you're in solo queue. One of the easier things to do often is actually try and mirror the death ball and have your own McCree Ryan setup. Now this obviously won't always work, but as a general rule it will help you more often than not. You'll see again that we pushed up to the choke point and the Ryan's with me, and I managed to then shoot through the great big rectangle and do some damage, and the enemy can't shoot through at me. Now I'll show you an example right now where a Genji dives our backline, but I'm with the team and he can't get past me because even though my stun fails, the Reinhardt manages to slam him in the face and we just kill him up easy peasy. Now again, this is interesting because the Ryan actually dies, so what I decide to do is back up to the backline with my team. We all give them the point, and this is a perfectly acceptable thing to do. We wait for the team to regroup. I then get nanoed and completely bait out the Genji's reflect. Sorry, buddy. And again, the Ryan's back, and I will start fighting with him again in a second. Now, I'm definitely not flawless with McCree, and trying to regroup with your Reinhardt is very, very difficult, but I think already after a minute 2 of this gameplay, you can see the benefits of being with your Rhine. Now, another one is in the nano meta, or as you'll see, the Roadhog actually just ulted. If someone gets nanoed or they're ulting or whatever, the Rhine can pin them, the Rhine can slam them down, but sometimes that isn't enough time and the nano is still going. But if you've also got McCree with you, he's doing massive damage to that thing that's pinned or slammed down the whole time. Once the pin or the slam down have run out, you then have a flashbang to do it again, and then you will kill a nano target in this time. Now, it's not easy, and you may want to be playing with a Rhine in duo queue with someone that you know so you can trust them more, but the synergy doesn't change. The synergy is super important, and pulling it off together is so much easier than just going around the map somewhere on a mad flank with either of these heroes. Now, something that I mentioned before, but I haven't actually stressed properly, is that the Rhine shield doesn't charge enemy ults, which is another important thing here. Yes, you can walk out as McCree in the front line and try and do some damage and probably not even die, but you're still charging enemy ults. Rhine has 2000 HP on his shield that doesn't charge enemy ults, so you can utilize that until it breaks, and then it recharges pretty quickly too. All you have to do is back off for a second, wait for the charge, and again, you can shoot through it, do all of this damage, and they can't charge their ults off of you, further winning the fight, which again is why when you're playing a Roadhog instead of a Rhine into another Rhine, they're just charging their ults off of your squishy Roadhog fat belly, whereas you're not charging any ults against that Rhine shield. In a second, I'll show you again on Ilios where things are getting hectic and me and the Rhine are killing things, and I hit a couple of really nice shots on the McCree that's ulting, but then a Reaper comes in. But instantly I managed to just pop down a flash which doesn't work. Because the Rhine has hit the Reaper and then I managed to shoot him, he's dead straight away. If I hadn't been in that situation, the Rhine would have died. And if the Rhine hadn't been there, I would have died. But together, the combination of the amount of damage you can actually sponge and the amount of damage you can deal out when together is just unparalleled. There's no way you can do the same thing flanking on your own, which again is the main point I need to get across. So in summary, guys, Rhine, McCree, a dynamic duo, should have been since release and always been at the pro level, and there's a reason for that. It is awesome. It's very good. Not always easy to pull off, but if you just duo queue with a friend or just run into someone that's playing Rhine, you're going to have a much better time playing with the death ball than you are on your own. If you think I'm missing anything though, the comment section is the place to go. Be sure to check out our Discord, our Twitter, our Twitch, all these new accounts and things to follow where we do all kinds of interesting things. If you want to get more out of us, they are the places to go. You can also group up with people or maybe find the McCree or Reinhardt of your dreams in our Discord. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.